New York, March 25, 1872. Inside the Erie Railroad offices, a room of oil men falls silent. Two men ask to be admitted. One leads a firm called South Improvement. The other is a quiet Clevelander named John D. Rockefeller. The chairman rises, protesting. The answer is no. In just weeks, this alliance has terrified an entire industry and now stands barred at the door. They would call it a massacre. But understand this: no shot was fired, no blood was spilled, no one died. The word is a metaphor for refineries swallowed whole, for rivals erased from the map of business in a matter of weeks. This is the story of how one man in Cleveland absorbed nearly all his competition without ever raising his voice. A conquest measured in ledgers, not corpses. Cleveland, Ohio, the Flats. Along the crooked Cuyahoga River, refineries stand shoulder to shoulder, a forest of still tanks and iron chimneys breathing black smoke into the sky. Barrels roll toward the rail sidings by the thousand. This is the kerosene capital of a young nation, lighting lamps from Boston to the frontier. And here, among the smoke and the sidings, a fortune is quietly taking shape. Kerosene is king. Before electricity, it burns in every parlor, every shop, every farmhouse. The demand is bottomless, the profits vast, but the business is chaos, dozens of refiners underselling one another, drowning in their own success. Fortunes rise and vanish in a single season. In this churning market, survival belongs not to the strongest refiner, but to the one who controls how the oil moves. Follow the pipelines east into Pennsylvania, Titusville, Oil City, Oil Creek. This is where the petroleum comes from, a muddy, crowded boom country of wooden derricks and grasping speculators. The producers here pull black wealth from the ground and believe the industry belongs to them. They are proud, independent, and certain. They do not yet know that the real power lies far away, in the hands of the men who ship their oil. June of 1870. In Cleveland, John D. Rockefeller and his partners organize a new firm, the Standard Oil Company. It is one refiner among many, but it is disciplined, precise, and hungry. Rockefeller wastes nothing. He counts every barrel, every stave, every drop. Where others see a scramble, he sees a system waiting to be built, and he intends to build it on his own terms. Rockefeller is no showman. He gives no speeches, grants no interviews, keeps himself well out of sight. He lets others shout while he studies the numbers. Rivals barely know his face. That silence is a weapon. While the oil regions rage in public meetings, he moves in private, patient, methodical, unseen. By the time you notice John D. Rockefeller, he is usually already holding the cards. The secret of the oil business is not the well or the refinery, it is freight. Every barrel must ride the rails to market, and the railroads set the price. Three great lines compete for the oil traffic, and they hate the price wars as much as the refiners do. Whoever can promise the railroads steady, guaranteed shipments can demand something precious in return, a rate no rival can match. Autumn 1871. A group of Pennsylvania refiners come to Rockefeller with a scheme: combine the biggest refiners and shippers into a single ring. Promise the railroads all their freight. In exchange, demand secret discounts, and something darker still. It is bold, ruthless, and elegant. Rockefeller listens. He did not invent the plan, but no man alive is better equipped to make it work. History would blame him for it. Yet the plan was carried to Rockefeller, not born in his mind. He was its instrument, not its author, but he became its master. This distinction matters because the man who executes a scheme flawlessly is remembered as its architect. Rockefeller took a borrowed idea and turned it into the most effective weapon the industry had ever seen. First came the rebate. For every barrel Standard Oil shipped, the railroad would secretly refund part of the fare. On paper, everyone paid the same rate. In truth, Rockefeller paid far less. His costs dropped below every competitor's. He could undersell them all and still profit. The other refiners did not know why they were losing. They only knew that they were. Then came the drawback, and this was the cruelty. The railroads would not only discount Rockefeller's oil, they would pay him a cut of the freight charged on his rival's oil as well. Every barrel a competitor shipped put money into Standard's pocket. His enemies were funding their own destruction with every load they sent to market. It was, quite simply, checkmate. Early 1872, the ring takes a name, the South Improvement Company. It is the vehicle, the legal shell that binds refiners and railroads together. Members pledge to ship only on friendly lines. In return, they enjoy rates their rivals can never touch. It is a machine designed to divide the industry into two classes, the chosen few inside and everyone else left to starve. At its head stands Mr. Watson, president of the South Improvement Company, the public face of the arrangement. Behind him quietly is Rockefeller and the strength of Standard Oil. Together they hold the contracts, the rates, and the railroad's promise. The paperwork is signed in secret. The plan is nearly perfect. All that remains is to use it, swiftly, before the oil regions understand what has happened. But a secret this large cannot be kept. Word slips out, new freight rates favoring a nameless few, ruinous to everyone else. In Cleveland, the smaller refiners feel the ground shift beneath them. Overnight, their costs no longer make sense. The rates alone tell the story. Someone has struck a bargain with the railroads, and they were not invited. Fear moves through the flats like smoke. Then Standard Oil comes calling. One by one, Rockefeller approaches the refiners of Cleveland, calm, courteous, unhurried. He does not threaten, he explains. The arithmetic is merciless and plain. With these freight rates, they cannot survive. He offers them a way out. Sell to Standard Oil now, while an offer still stands. Most look at the numbers, and most understand that the fight is already over. Some ask to see how he can be so certain, and Rockefeller shows them. The scale, the costs, the rates, no independent can match. The message beneath the courtesy is unmistakable. Resistance is pointless. A man cannot compete with an enemy who profits every time he ships. Refiner after refiner reaches the same cold conclusion. Better to take the offer standing than to be carried out ruined. And so they fold. In a matter of weeks, most of Cleveland's refineries pass into Rockefeller's hands. A city of rivals becomes a city of one. The transactions are quiet, a handshake, a signature, a business absorbed before its neighbors even hear the news. No violence, no headlines, just a map of competitors slowly going dark, refinery by refinery, until almost nothing independent remains. For the men who sold, the terms varied, and so did their fortunes afterward. Some walked away with money in hand and watched later as the company they had left behind grew only larger. Others tied their futures to Standard and rose with it. In that spring of 1872, few could see which choice was wise. They only knew the choice was no longer really theirs. But in the oil regions, the reaction is anything but quiet. When the producers of Pennsylvania learn of the scheme, fury erupts. Mass meetings fill the towns of Titusville and Oil City. Torches burn. The independents see it clearly now, a combination of railroads and refiners aimed straight at their livelihoods. They will not sell, and they will not ship. They declare war on the ring. Their voice is E.G. Patterson, an oil producer of Titusville. Before Congress, his charge is exact. The railroad companies have combined with an organization of individuals known as the Standard Ring. They give to that party the sole and entire control of all the petroleum refining interest and petroleum shipping interest in the United States, and consequently place the whole producing interest entirely at their mercy. The producers strike back with the only weapon they have. They refuse to sell their crude to any member of the ring. The oil stops flowing. Pressure builds on both sides. Even Rockefeller's own family is split. His brother Frank stands among the opposition, ready to speak against him. The quiet combination that seemed unstoppable now faces a rebellion it did not expect. The crisis demands a reckoning. The railroads, caught between their secret partners and a howling public, begin to waver. A final conference is called, the all-important meeting at the Erie offices in New York on March 25th. Both sides will be in the room, the ring that built the scheme and the oil men determined to destroy it. For once, Rockefeller will not stay out of sight. March 25th, the Erie offices. The oil men are gathered when Watson and Rockefeller present themselves for admission. Mr. Clark, presiding, rises in agitated protest. The room refuses them entry. The most powerful combination in American industry is turned away at its own reckoning. It is a dramatic scene. No blows, no shouting mob, only the cold, total rejection of men who thought they had already won. The backlash is too fierce. Within weeks, the South Improvement Company collapses, followed by a congressional inquiry that answers almost nothing. The scheme is dead. But Cleveland is already Rockefeller's, and Standard Oil endures. Those who took cash walked away whole, and watched the stock they refused make other men rich. Decades later, a journalist named Ida Tarbell would drag it all into the light. Next, a company that ruled the seas for 2 centuries and rotted from within. The ledger always balances, eventually.